Hi everyone, welcome to day 20 of the 31-day beginner guitar course. I hope you managed to learn some of Fast Car in yesterday's lesson. In today's lesson we're going to learn Do I Wanna Know by Arctic Monkeys. Let's get into it. So Do I Wanna Know sounds a bit like this. So the first two notes in Do I Wanna Know is the first fret and then the third fret, both on the sixth string, the E string. And we're going to do that with our first finger and our third finger. So we're going to go 1, 3. But if you download the music, you'll notice underneath the two numbers, the 1 and the 3, they have like a line connecting them. And then if you look up a bit higher, there's a H. The H stands for Hammer-On. So what that means is we're going to pick the 1, the first fret, and then our left hand, our third finger, is going to smack down. You try and get the tip of your finger doing it to play the third fret. So we're only going to pick one of the notes, the first note, the first fret. So you pick the 1, and then we're going to hammer on to the third fret. So we're just only using our left hand to play that second note. And yeah, you've just got to like really commit to the note. You've got to press down and then hold it down. Sometimes if you don't commit to the note, you can kind of mute the string before you actually play it. Like you kind of deaden the note. So make sure you're not doing that. Really commit to it. You could even practice doing it higher up first. Make a little exercise out of it. Try and get good at just the technique of hammer-ons. Then in this song we have slides. We've basically got two types of slides. A slide is when we play one note. So say if we were going from 1 to 3 again, we'd pick the first note and then we keep out the force down and we slide up to the next note. We keep the pressure down, and instead of picking it again, we go through all the frets till we get to the fret we need. Sounds a bit like this. 1, 3. And again, if you've got the music, a slide looks very similar to a hammer-on. It's still got the line underneath, but it's got a line connecting the two notes. And then if you look higher up, you've got SL, which means slide. You want to look at up and just check if it's a slide or a hammer-on. And then we get two types of slides. The most common one is when you just get one number and then another number, and it's got a line connected to it, and it says slide. That just sounds like you've picked the first one, and then slide to the next one. You hear both notes, 1, 2. And then there's a second type of slide, which I'll remind you about. But basically the first number is really small. And when we get that happening, we don't really want to hear the first note. So when that first number is really small, you basically pick and slide at the same time. So instead of it being pick, then slide, which was our original sliding, we're going to pick and slide into note really quickly, so you don't really hear the first note. And in tablature, you just see like a very small number. We'll talk about that again when we get to it. So if we go back to the start, we're first going to play the first fret on the sixth string, and then hammer on to the third fret. So 1, 3, all on the lowest string on the sixth string. Then we're going to go to the first fret on the fifth string. So 1, 3, 1 on the next one down. Then we're going to go back to the sixth string and we're going to play the third fret and we're going to pick it. So 1, 3, 1, 3, coming back. So you're just going to hammer on the first two notes. You can see that as lick 1. Let's see that as our first part. And then our second lick, we're going to again start on 1, 3 on the sixth string, so that's the same with the hammer-on. Then we're going to go and play the first fret on the fifth string. Then what we're going to do is go down to the D string, play the first fret again, and slide from 1 to 3. But again, if you look at the music, the 1 is really small. What we want here is a really quick slide. We don't want this. We want this. Then we're going to go back to the first fret on that same string, the D string, and that's our second riff. So we've got 1, 3 with a hammer on, then 1, on the next one down, and then slide from 1 to 3, and then 1. So that's the second part. The third part, we then need our third finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string, the A string. And we're going to slide from 3 to 5. Again, it's got a small 3, so we need it to be really quick. So pick it and slide at the same time. So like this. We don't want this. We want this. Then we're going to go back to 3 on that same string with your first finger and play the 3rd fret. So we're going to go 3 to 5 and then back to 3. So part 3 is this. Part 4 is we've got the 1st fret on the A string, the 5th string. Then we're going to play the 3rd fret with your 3rd finger, and then we're going to slide. So you've picked the 3. We're going to slide up 2 frets to the 5th fret. Then you just go back with your 1st finger and play 3. So the 4th lick goes 1, 3, slide to 5, back to 3. So it sounds a bit like this. 1, 3, 5, 3. And we're sliding between the 3 and the 5. And then the final part of the riff, we're going to go back to 1 on the A string, on the 5th string. Then we're going to play 3, slide to 5. This one's just a normal slide. 1, 3, 5. Then we're going to go back to 3 with the same finger, our 3rd finger, and we're going to do one of those quick slides from 3 to 5. And then the final note, 3rd fret on that 6th string, the lowest string. So our final lick goes 1, 3, 5, slide to the 5. Then we're going to go back to 3, slide really quickly from 3 to 5, and then finally end on the 3rd fret on that 6th string. So we've got so we put all that together, we get, that's the first part. Then we've got, that's the second one. Then we're going to go, then, to that whole thing. Let's have a go at that slowly to the metronome. Good luck. 1, 2, 3. And here it is full speed. Again, don't worry if this is too fast. Work up to this if you can. Get the technique down and get the pattern down. That's more important. Good luck. 1, 2, 3. Good luck with that. If you head to the website, the rest of the song is tabbed out. So if you've got on well with that, Feel free to try some of the other sections. In the next lesson, we're going to be continuing our finger picking and learning a James Bay song. So head to that video now and go practice.